UTA hackers. If you're ready, you can like turn on your camera, share a screen, and like take it away.
All right, thank you so much. This is Team
Mhm.
2, UTA Hackers. It's Ujwal and Avinash here. Give us a second, we're sharing our screen. Um, are you guys able to view our screen?
Not yet.
All right, let's give it a second to load. What about now?
No.
Still not.
Now I can see it now.
All right, so let's start. So the application we developed is called Dasher. It's a web-based, mobile-friendly application for entrepreneurs of Nepal as well as entrepreneurs anywhere in the world. So the goal here was to enhance business experience, maximize profit, kind of have an idea of where your business stands, and we also tried to. The other goal here was to try to limit meetings and emails that are sent back and forth between the company employee, talking about, let's say, the task that needs to be done and where they stand on the task. I'm not going to take over.
So we basically call this app a dasher because we can implement every functionality of our app on just a one dashboard. So you can see here that it shows us how many progress of the task that's remaining and how much is completed, and it generates an sales revenue that increased from the last past month, and it also shows the graph of how many tasks has been completed. Also, we can set an priority of the tasks, and also we can look at the financial stats. And And this is the part where we add the new tax. So we can assign a new tax to the employee, and we can set the priority of how 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 high is it. And we have the last part, which is the finance. So we can just basically write down the income and expenses that we have on our daily basis in this and submit it, and our backend will generate the graph, and it will show on our dashboard. And Ujjwal is going to take over it again.
So, given that it was a 24 hour hackathon, there were a lot of features we wanted to implement, but we could not. So, we are thinking about making features that would, where you could set a monthly target on, let's say, the income you want to generate and the expenses that you want to minimize, and have a graph that shows you where you stand at the current time and how much you might have to cut down or increase up in order to reach that graph, and setting bonuses for employees who achieve a certain task, and features where users and developers could interact and modify the applications. Sorry, we were planning to add features where users and developers could interact and add more features to the application. Now, before we take questions, let's dive into our demo. So for this application, what we used was a Django framework on the backend, connecting to a SQL database. On this case, we use MySQL Lite. And for the front end, we use HTML, CSS, the regular stuff, and Material.io. I think that's made by Google. So the icons are from Material.io. This is the dashboard Avnas was talking about. Kind of summarizes where we stand. And this is the task part. So over here, you could see Visal's the one who made the presentation. Code testing was done by Avinash. We could set the status whether it's completed or not. Push to live server was my task. I could not get it done in time, so I'm gonna delete it. So if I delete it, it's gonna reload the page, and that item is gonna be deleted. That's the first look now. And now these are medium priority. Code testing, adding financial information, and low priority. On the other side, we have simulated expenses. Let's say AWS billing expense cost us $200, coffee is a $30 expense, sales, income. You could delete these as well. Create a new task. Let's call it present. So sorry about the front end; it's not totally developed yet. So there's still some bugs in the front end, some styling that needs to be improved. We could put any description on that. Presentation present we're gonna set to in progress. Priority is gonna be high. Assigned to let's assign to me. So the assignment works. When it comes to assignment, the system's gonna look all the user on the database and pull their information out. So you could select any user on the system and assign a task to them. Let's do submit. Now that's what we have over here. And for finance, the same principle applies. So let's add AT&T. That's my net provider. So type's going to be expense, 60 bucks, 60 bucks, submit. And we have those changes over here. Just go over here and remove the changes. So this is the functionality we have built up in the front end. There are still a lot of things we would like to add, but given the time frame of the project, we were not able to. And the other thing is the application is totally mobile friendly. Doesn't matter which device you use, it would work. So that's the iPhone, that's the Pixel. Let's do responsive. There we go. So that's pretty much it. Our team was mostly focused on developing a simple application, getting the front end and back end working, then creating a bigger idea that we may not be able to implement in 24 hours window. So now we are open to questions.
Thank you, UTA Hackers team number 2. The judges can go ahead and ask questions if you have any.
So this is Dr. Tiernan. So what makes your application unique for Nepal compared to other types of dashboard applications that already exist?
I don't think it makes it unique for Nepal. I think the application works, regardless of the country you're using, the application works the same way. But the good thing about the application is it's kind of similar to other applications, but this application is going to be under MIT license, which means anyone who is interested on having a copy of it or hosting them on their own are welcome to do so. We're not going to be charging any fees or anything like that for the application. Does that answer your questions?
Yes, thank you.
I could add something to that,
Mhm.
if you allow me.
Sure.
So this web-based application, the motive here was to get an overview of where you stand at current situation and determine how far away you are from the profit margin. So this way you can have on hand look overview on like where you stand, and then okay, if you want to focus more on profit, you could assign more tasks, and you can also see on the job scheduling that how many tasks are completed and how many needs to be done within a month. So the motive here was a simple expertizing the business experience, and then just moving forward with the finances and job scheduling on a same platform instead of having two different platforms and using two different applications. It would be more handy. That's what the thought was about, if that answers your question.
Good, thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
What was the name of the speaker, the first speaker?
Ujjwal?
Is your picture up here? Are you here anywhere? I didn't get to see any of you when you were speaking, except Ujjwal at the end.
I think Avinash was there, but I think when we start, I'm using the browser-based Teams, so it's not letting me present the video as well as webcam do the presentation as well as turn on the webcam at the same time. That might be the reason.
Okay, well, the first presentation, I saw everybody who was speaking. I got to watch them do that. This one, I didn't get to see anybody do that.
So Avinash was here, but he left, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
A quick question on the technology side. So I think you guys have done a wonderful job here with using the Django framework, and I can see the GitHub as well. So how many people contributed the code in the GitHub?
So on this one, it was mostly me and Avinash. Bisal and Shrishant were working on the business side of it, like creating the idea and what other things we're going to implement.
Sure. And you're running on local host. So have you thought of running it on cloud any point of time? Would that have been a little bit easier?
Well, if it was a 48-hour hackathon or a 72-hour hackathon, we could probably have switched to Heroku. It would take like an hour to optimize the application for a cloud server. Like Heroku is free, so we could have done that, but we needed some more time to do that. But that can be done. Should not be a problem. It's just 2 or 3 hours more of work, 2 to 3 hours more work. But it's
Sure,
not
no problem at all. Okay, just the advice side, Amazon, Microsoft, they all give like free tier, which you can actually use very quickly as well. So just advice. Thank you.
I
That's me.
use AWS, and I'm out of the 1 year free tier. So Microsoft's gonna be the next one for me.
Cool.
Any other questions?
So I'd like to add a little bit about, I mean, like you said, you're going to, in the business side, like one of the speakers said that you're going to make it for free. So making it free, I think people are not going to use it. I mean,
so the goal is, so the
right,
way
yeah.
we see it is, we like we are not trying to, we're trying to be software developers, not businessmen. And we want to create a product that we can give out to free, and other companies, we're all right with other companies using it to generate their profit. Maybe later on we could probably add features like pro features, and had like, hey, this is what you get for free. If you want support, if you want extra features added on, you need to pay us. But if someone wants the code for free, they're open. It's on an MIT license, so they can pull it from GitHub or anything and run it on their own servers. But that's for now. But things might change later when we have a better application.
Okay, all right, thank you. Yeah,
sure.
Anybody else has any questions, comments? Okay.